character who comes on first and tells us about Antony and Cleopatra, a guy called Philo, and he's never seen again. I mean, I'm sure the actor was seen again. The actor, poor devil, was probably playing 8 or 9 parts, but the actual character never shows up. He's just put in there to start us. So this is, he comes on and he's talking, and this is another thing that Shakespeare does very frequently because of the open air stage. He often had 2 characters coming on and in the middle of a conversation. We don't know what they said before they came on, but we immediately realize that they're in the middle of a conversation. So this is what happens. Nay, but this dotage of our general o'erflows the measure. Those his goodly eyes that o'er the files and musters of the war have glowed like plated Mars, now bend, now turn the office and devotion of their view upon a tawny front. His captain's heart, which in the scuffles of great fights hath burst the buckles on his breast, reneges all temper, and is become the bellows and the fan, to cool a gypsy's lust. So we know what the Romans think of Cleopatra. There was a production of that in Vancouver a few years ago. A friend of mine played Cleopatra. It was a good production, except I hated what the director did, which was he made the actors come on at the beginning with their scripts, and they read to the audience the very last scene of the play. So you knew in advance, you know, what was to come, the death of Cleopatra and Antony and all that stuff, which I thought, there are, believe it or not, some people who go to Shakespeare and actually read the play or know the story, and I think it's really terrible to let them miss out that way. And Shakespeare gave a wonderful beginning to Antony and Cleopatra, which of course they had to cut, you see. And then having done that thing, told us all about what was going to happen, they then put down the scripts and started the play partway through. You know, as far as directing Shakespeare is concerned, as I say, it's wonderful if it all comes together, if you can have visual stuff that works and it doesn't interfere with the text and the text is predominant. But it's perfectly possible to create a wonderful thing of Shakespeare on a bare stage, which is what was originally happening in his day. And so when I direct Shakespeare, I always try to have the absolute minimum of scenery and minimum of visual stuff and concentrate on what happens through the text. And certainly that's my approach. I feel that if you can get in touch with the language, if you can convey the images in the language to the audience by making them understand what the images are, then the audience will do its work. But if you don't give them the images from the text, then they got nothing to go on. So very often the audience doesn't expect to understand most of what is being said, and they should.